Today we're going to be doing the first section of 6.1 and we're going to be focusing on the law of sines. So we're going to be using a ratio, and something that is important to know is that when we're finding these missing information about a triangle is that these triangles will not be right triangles. So Pythagorean theorem does not apply to any of the triangles that we're going to be working with in this chapter. So the law of sines consists of three parts of a proportion, and you don't ever have to use all three parts at the same time. So the proportion is little a over sine of big A equals little b over sine of big B equals little c over sine of big C. And again, you'll only use two pieces of this proportion at a time. You won't have two equal signs, obviously. A, B, and C are side lengths. The large A, B, and C are angle measurements. And the angle measurements are going to be in degrees. So one thing that's important is that any calculation we do in this section, you need to be in degrees on your calculator. So for this section, you will need a calculator. So if you don't have calculators, please go get them. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause it. We are going to be solving the side angle triangle, and whenever the directions say solve, that means they want to know everything that's missing about the triangle. So notice they gave you angle A, angle C, and side C. So the information that's missing is an angle B, side A, and side B. So it might be a good idea to set up ahead of time what information you are missing. So based on the information that's given, notice I have two C's and an A. So the part of that equation that we're going to use is the A part and the C part. So I don't know side A, so that's what we're solving for. But we know large A is 46 degrees, equal to 56 over sine of 63. Okay, again, if you know two pieces of information, you always need to know a side and a matching angle to use these proportion. And to solve for A, we're going to cross multiply. So I get A times sine of 63 equals 56 times sine of 46. And then to get A by itself, we're going to divide both sides by sine of 63. Now, to type this in the calculator correctly, I'm going to put the parentheses on here where they need to be. So first, you need a parenthesis around the entire top. And again, when you click sine, the calculator is going to open parentheses. So when you type the top, you need to open a parenthesis, 56 times sine of 46, close, close, and then divide that answer by sine of 63. Make sure your calculator is in degrees. If you don't remember how to do that, you need to click mode, and then you make sure degree is highlighted. Otherwise, you will get the incorrect answer. So when you do this calculation, we should get the answer. Let me look it up real quick. We should get 45. So little a is 45. And now I'm going to need to use another proportion. Now, in order to find any information about B, I need to find angle B. And we know there's 180 degrees in a triangle. So to find this angle, I'm going to do 180 minus the sum of 46 plus 63. So our angle B, when I add up 46 and 63 and then subtract that from 180, I get 71 degrees. So now that I have some information about B, I can set up that second proportion. So I don't know angle B or side B, but I now know its angle is 71 degrees. And I know I still have that side of 56 over sine of 63. And again, to solve for b, we cross multiply. So you get b sine of 63 equals 56 sine of 71. And to get b by itself, we're going to divide both sides by sine of 63. So if you still have that last calculation typed in your calculator, you can hit second enter. And the only thing that's going to change is where you had 46 before, you're now going to put 71. And when you do this calculation for your side B, you should get 59 inches. And by doing these calculations, we've now found everything that's missing about the triangle. So our triangle is what we call solved. So we're going to do one more example together, and then you have some problems that are going to be assigned for you to do. So notice the information that's given in the next example. So I have angle A is 50 degrees. I forgot my degree symbol. Angle C is 33.5 degrees. And side B is 76. So this example is different than the first one because in the first one I had a pair of matching information. And when I say a pair, I mean a side and an angle that goes together. So the information that's missing this time is I don't know angle B, I don't know side A, and I don't know side C. So before I can even use the sine proportion, I need to find a matching pair. And the only possibility is my B. I have the side B, so I need to find angle B. So to find angle B, we do 180 minus the sum of 50 plus 33.5. So after I add 50 and 33.5 and I subtract it from 180, we will get 96.5 degrees. And now that I know this angle B, I now have the matching side and angle, so I can use that in the proportion. So I'm just going to say let's find angle or side A first. So we don't know A, but I know its angle of sine of 50 degrees. And the side B is 76 over sine of 96.5. And again, to solve, we cross multiply. So you get A sine of 96.5 equals 76 sine of 50. Then to get A by itself, we divide both sides by sine of 96.5. So again, to type this on your calculator, make sure you put parentheses in the correct spot. And if you want to do it in stages, you can. So you're going to do 76 times sine of 50. And then you divide that answer by sine of 96.5. And when you do that, you should get an approximate answer of 59. So now that we know the 59, we found that piece, so the last thing we need to find is side C. So similar calculations, almost identical. So side C over sine of 33.5, make sure you use the angle C's information, equals 76 over sine of 96.5. And again, we'll cross multiply. So I get C sine of 96.5 equals 76 of sine 33.5. And to get C by itself, we divide by sine of 96.5. So my C is going to be approximately equal to 42. And now I've found everything that's missing about my triangle. Okay, so we're going to pause with this. There obviously is more to this lesson, but we're going to kind of chunk it, and this is the first part, and we'll save the rest of it for another day. So that's all.